And you get some people that'll be kind of curious and they'll come over and check you out, and that's okay. Hey, I got 800 people over on Kick um, that are signed up, but I usually only get probably about anywhere between mm, 14 to 20 on average when I'm live.
Hmm.
But that's fine, because almost every person that's on Kick is a streamer. They're not there, to come in there just to listen.
Yeah.
All right, like a lot of other platforms, uh, they're all working. And if you come into mine and you type the exclamation point P, allows you to automatically advertise your channel. Go over and check you out, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of people that and a lot of channels that allow you to do that over there,
They're
which
not.
is really really
They're not
nice.
there.
Rumble, it's kind of like once you get rolling, you start to get people talking, and then it gets going.
Yeah.
But it gets, I mean, it was not easy starting out over there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I I
I
finally
never
got up
did.
to like a buck after 8 months of streaming on there, and for me, that's fine because I've been dealing with YouTube for years now, and they don't give you shit, and so
Oh, YouTube,
it
YouTube
gets
banned. I
me.
mean, a couple weeks ago.
Did they?
Yeah, I lost my channel completely now.
Oh
For
man.
reason.
I was talking about every single one of my shows talks about the jab, and they hate that. They hate it. YouTube
Mm.
hates
So a
it.
violation of terms of
Oh,
services then.
it's misinformation. I'm like, no, you better
Yeah.
look at the WHO. They already said that it's okay now. That they were wrong, but they still don't want to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you really need to change the wording to from misinformation to malinformation. It's stuff that you don't want to fucking hear, not me
Yeah.
Did you
and
appeal?
other people.
Did you appeal?
Did you appeal?
What's that?
Did you appeal?
Yeah, well, YouTube appeals are computer generated.
Yeah.
That you never get a person ever.
Yeah.
It's not like when you go to mines and hey, you have a problem. Like say Mark takes and says I have something that's out of whack. All right,
Mm.
and puts me in timeout for a week or whatever. And I appeal it, and then other people take a look at it and say, no, 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 that's really not what happened.
So I have a major problem with the time out principle. I mean, these
Yeah,
social media platforms are not our parents. If they want to ban
puts
us. But we don't play around with this stupid, petulant little timeout thing.
Yeah.
I consider
yeah.
it to be extremely, yeah, petulant.
He's
I,
he's
I,
riled up. He's
I,
riled up.
Yeah,
I think it's really stupid on mines to have any kind of ban,
Yeah.
unless you are threatening physical violence.
Yeah.
All right,
I did, I
because
did review,
because to
the
me, if you don't want to listen to someone, you can always say unfollow and block, and you never see or hear from them ever again.
Now,
on behalf of the
now you
soup
guys
shop,
just
the
so you
group,
know, we did just now start streaming, so it's cool to talk about it. So, but just don't bring up all the stuff that will get
yeah,
us.
on behalf of the senior staff, I did review the last two terms of services and test the last content policy. And
You're fading
as far
out.
as I can see, I personally don't have any problems with the content policy. Yeah, I made a load of, I made something like, I don't know, half a dozen page documents on this, with review, but yeah,
I'm having a really hard time making out what you're saying, Mark.
Right, it could be my head.
That's what it
Is
was.
that better?
Yeah,
yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot better.
he's got that curly
it's
hair.
just- yeah, I need to really cut my hair or
You
something.
need to pull it back in a ponytail, buddy, or shave it all off like me. Yeah,
He'd be lost without his hair, man.
Huh?
like
Yeah.
Mark's like Jesus Christ superstar over there, man, with his hair, man.
Oh.
If he would feel weak like Saul, what was his name?
Samson.
Samson. If he
Yeah.
cut his hair, man. Like
Yeah, I will lose all my abilities.
Oh, Samson. I,
Samson. Yeah, remember Samson and Delilah? She cut his hair and
we've been calling him the Chippendale dude.
chipped him. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mark, I promise I won't ever bring that over to the to any other show that I have when you come on over with me. That's the Roger side only. All right.
That's Tan.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah, I did.
That's
Well, it's
Tan.
both of them.
Oh,
Just as
Tan.
bad as
Yeah.
each other.
Tan said he would pay good money to freaking see him, do a Chippendale dance. I was like, seriously? I couldn't believe it came out of his mouth. He said it. I was like, hell no, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I still am having issues with using the Windows capture on OBS, so I'm gonna be just doing freaking display capture. So
Okay.
Yeah, I have for some reason my OBS will not do a web page.
yeah.
It won't capture the web page, but if I do like a display capture, it does that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I minimize that display, it takes it down. Like when I do Skype,
Yeah.
and
does
that-
it?
it'll put display capture for the Skype chat, but it won't do like a page. If I actually put in the web page, it won't show it or bring it up ever. I don't know what's going on with it. It's been like that almost since I started using OBS.
Skype especially, it's been horrible with freaking Skype. I've had like minimal issues when it comes to like using all these VoIPs when it comes to all the other ones, but when I get on Skype, it's just freaking horrible. OBS does not want to work with it at all.
Well, I found that one thing that you have to do with Skype is bump it from normal to high or above normal for your processor stuff, and then that'll help. That helps it a lot.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about Microsoft Windows, aren't you? You're Microsoft Windows users.
Let me go get some coffee real quick, and I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
I'm gonna grab some too while I'm at it, and we'll see what we got here. All right.
Finish off what I was doing. I was in the middle of some paperwork just now. I'm on 27, 29, 27, 29, 04.
What you really need to do is try to get David Hogg from Mine's David Hogg to come in on Tech Time. He's really good about stuff and extremely knowledgeable about tech, especially AI.
What is his username?
No one actually knows. I mean, He has so many accounts over on Minds, it's crazy.
Okay. I may have come across him.
I'm
Don't
sure
know
you
the name
come
doesn't.
across him. He's done Daisy Hogg, uh, Mi- Minds David Hogg. What was the other one? Uh, Censorship Sucks.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and a whole bunch of those guys. He
Okay.
if you're on Meme Supreme, or what's the other one? He's on. He's usually on Meme Supreme, like Adam Bombs and that. I know Adam Bombs follows our shows when we're on air.
Mm.
Tomorrow night, Adam Bombs and Mayan Cow, or AKA Knickers, will be over there on Kick listening to us.
All right. So,
I know.
But they're from Mines. Yeah, I met them through those guys. Yo Rizzo should have a. Oh, I missed his show last night. 'Cause
Mm,
he does one. Huh?
I did appear on Robert's Morningstar's thing last night.
Yeah.
okay, so we've come to 5 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and do the countdown and get everything set up and going, okay? You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I'm just a bit busy at the moment, but carry on.
All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1, now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. Today we are here with Mark from Egregious Productions. I said that right, didn't I, Mark?
It's Dragus Productions.
Dragus Productions. And I'm also here with another Mark, Mark Edworthy, from Minds.com. And today we are continuing on our conversation. I guess Dan isn't showing up. I don't know what the deal is, what's going on with him at the moment. But he wanted to discuss the new chat and everything that's in Minds. So
It will be, I've just seen a message, it will be with us in a short while.
in a short while. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's I guess we could start off with that conversation. Do you guys have any idea of what new things are occurring when it comes to Minds new chat that they're putting into play?
Before you started this thing, I pulled up a load of GitLab tickets, so I just searched for chat in GitLab, and there's a few things here. I'll just reference that.
All right. Do you want to go over them?
I'll let you have a look and then pin out the best ones
Okay.
for.
No, with me, I went in there the other day. I to be honest with you, I haven't really been going in to check it out. When I first started seeing it, I really wasn't impressed. So when stuff like that happens, I just like leave it alone for maybe a month or two, and maybe stuff will change on it. But I went in there the other day. There you go. And I did notice that freaking that one post that you made between me, you, and Tan it had a video posted up there, and it was showing some sort of preview on it, which I thought was pretty cool because it didn't do the same thing on this chat that we use on Minds, like it did on that one. I thought that was interesting.
Ever since they did the change way back when, I've just lost interest in using the chat on Minds. I like Minds. I like how Minds is set up, and especially the privacy on the page, and what I can get on my page and what I don't want on my page to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the chat, and then I really don't have a lot. You know, if I do anything, I'll come in like a forum like we got right now, with other people or my shows, you know, because I'm on so many different platforms. It's hard to keep up with everybody
Mm.
because, hey, this platform you have to have, talk to at least this many people in order to keep active, blah blah blah. And it's kind of the same with mines too, in a way. If you go by the point system and all that, and you got to big posts and things like that. But you know, as far as like the messenger or their communication, their message system over on mines, I think it'd be great if they would take and have like a separate notification for it, like not have it show up in the regular notifications that someone sent you a message, but something saying that, hey, I got a message from uh, the messenger, where the messenger actually lights up or something like that.
I
But
have,
they don't
I have
have that right now.
I've seen either GitLab ticket or a comment within the ticket about notifications for the new thing, for the new chat facility. But I suppose it's really related to keeping it simple, the old KISS principle. Community members are expecting to see all notifications in one single place.
Yeah. Well, like I would say a message notification would be a little bit different than like a notification for like a post or someone comment on your post. I would
Hmm.
like to see that.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked to them about that. I've talked to Bill and a few others about that, and it used to be like that when they first had the original um, chat for it, and that was kind of cool. But it wasn't integrated with Minds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this one here is a little bit more integrated with Minds, but you know,
actually, funny enough,
you know what I'm saying.
this is the third chat facility that's been deployed. And when they introduced MindChat, the one that we're using at the moment, the second version, um, one of the things I mentioned to both Jack and Bill in a private conversation was we'd like to see a much more integrated solution because at the moment with the two sort of platforms, there's sort of less integration, and also there's been issues with users losing security keys and stuff with
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
existing.
but with all that wasted space on the right side, and even on the left side, well, not so much on the left side anymore, but on the right side, they could have something like that over there that it shows who your active people that are up, kind of lit up, and then if you want to talk to them directly, and if they sent you a message, maybe it turns yellow or blue or green or something to let you know that hey, I have a message from that person directly. I don't need to go back and check all my notifications to see who the hell sent me something.
Yeah.
Granted, on a full browser screen, there's a lot of wasted space on the right, and when the new interface was being developed, Bill asked me to create a review on the new interface, and uh, I actually did created two reviews at the end of the day. I went through a load of help and support um, inquiries and just pick up on general members' viewpoints. And yeah, that was one of the things I did mention. The the usage of space, or the lack of use of
Yeah,
space.
well, everybody that I've talked to that has been on mines, every time they see that, they're like, okay, when's the advertising coming? Because if they have this space there for a reason.
Yeah.
So they must be going to be selling advertising on the other side of it, which, when we asked Bill and the rest of them up there, they said, no, that's not going to happen. I'm like, okay, then why is, it doesn't, it,
Well, I learned my lesson.
say
I
if
le-
you're going to
uh,
make everything else look bigger then too, if to
the
fill that space.
the thing
Which
about
space do you guys talk about?
The right hand side of mines. When
now
you go into
Oh,
now
and
when it comes to bill and advertising, I caught on to that real quick because what happened was I started going on Jeffy Ryder's Pirate Network show,
well, it's
and I watched an old archive that they had of like the first interview they did. It was with Bill, and Bill was on there talking about the same stuff that he talks about today. And
yeah,
trust me, when it comes to advertisement, that's what he wants. He wants to get these big companies in, so there's a good chance he's not feeding you. I just don't.
I've actually gathered the sort of opposite position from him. When he's talking about advertising, he's talking about more internal advertising, so things like the liquidity spot and stuff. Um, as
it's showing
far as-
the boosted stuff for me.
yeah,
well,
definitely. But as far as
well,
external
they're really,
advertising,
come on now. We need, they need to get rid of that system, or revamp it to where it does work. You know,
Mm.
I've used boosts here and there since the beginning, and it really doesn't do a damn thing for me.
Nothing.
it
Yeah.
has changed recently. They've
It
changed
doesn't.
their phone.
You mean what do you mean by that, actually, Mark W? Yeah, I mean, you get more views from the boosted post, or
I've actually got equal or less views by boosting a post than I would for taking and using the boost. If I didn't use the boost, I get about the same. You know,
oh,
it really doesn't help me at all. And I I consider myself not only a radio show a producer, but I'm an advertiser. All right,
Mhm.
I am an advertiser because I have to advertise my shows so that folks know when I'm on and when I'm not. And if I can't get out, then it's really not a good thing for me to do that, right?
Remember, there's other methods of advertising ones without boosting. I mean, as an example, when I publish a post on my own channel, I tend to replicate a duplicate of that post in the Minds user group, where it's relevant. And whenever I post anything that's related to Minds itself, I will publish it in my own channel, the Minds user group, and the Minds community open source initiative group.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just how you approach it, really.
I just figured that they're okay with me being there, but when I take and use that, they look at me as spam then. So
yeah,
As long as
yeah.
you're
The
posting,
guys that
as
you
long-
boosted onto their channels, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because-
as long as you're posting or publishing in the appropriate groups. I mean, there's no point in publishing technical information to a group that is related to cat pictures.
Well,
I can actually boost a post for Cafe Enigma in like the UFOs and what is it, extra unknown phenomena or something like that. I think it's called group,
yeah.
and I know it's a pretty active group, And same, I have a group too that when I boosted it, I mean, it really didn't help the group at all. I mean, I would get a whole bunch of people in there that I really didn't want or need because
Mm.
from it
But
because, but that was, I mean, it was a comic book and it's it's the all comic books group, but I don't allow any kind of hentai or anime in there at all. None.
Okay,
I,
yeah.
but because
what's
and
your
those are the rules of
what's
that group, though.
what's your channel, Mark?
Mine's Dragus Prod.
Yeah, now on the information on GitLab, I went through and I got that on the stream, so it is on stream,
Yeah.
so everybody can see
I
it.
also I also posted my two interface review blog articles as well.
Okay, so
On there.
Where are you streaming, Roger?
I'm streaming on. Now you got me all confused.
Hmm.
I am streaming on Odyssey, Rumble. I'm also doing it on YouTube as well as DLive. So
Wait, on Rumble, which channel are you streaming from?
it's from Tech Talk. Working with audio and video.
Working with audio.
Do you want me to post a link? I can get it real quick.
Well, post it on the general chat or
Well,
on your
Well, we
on
don't.
your.
We don't like those guys.
Oh,
We don't like those guys.
They come in and they start.
being blunt right there.
Let me see. Now all of a sudden I can't freaking
Oh,
hit the
I
share.
can't access Rumble. Rumble's down.
Rumble is down.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh wow.
Yes, sir?
Rumble's being DOS.
And I'm sure that they're being DDoSed. I mean, that's like a
Right,
big
right.
thing that's going on right now with the tech companies. What was it? AT&T, Facebook, and a bunch of others were being hammered
Oh
over the last
man.
couple weeks.
Well, the good thing is it's not messing the stream up on Rumble, so the
Yeah.
stream's going through.
And screenshot just for posterity to the Live with Roger Hansen chat.
That the good thing
Mm,
is we've got it going on multiple platforms. So if it messes
Yeah.
up there, I can just restream it, and I'm
Well,
recording as
It can
well.
be uploaded, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the good thing. Now,
Yeah, that's another reason why I always multi-platform broadcast
mhm.
because these days it's it's real easy for a platform or a station to go down. Hey, and
yeah.
you still got to get out, right?
Mhm.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's a bad
Well,
thing.
it goes back to my sort of bums and seats argument. You think channels like, platforms like YouTube contain the majority of the viewers, or a large amount of viewers, and some people will use YouTube, some people may use Rumble, some people may use combination of both, some people might just use Odyssey.
Well,
So,
I notice a lot of people who that do YouTube and Twitch uh, usually stream both of those together,
mm,
and they do quite well when they do that. But
mm,
when they um, and if you have a problem with either one of those platforms, they usually go over to Kick and Rumble and some of the others and check them out. Um, I was
I
on a
mean,
place called LiveSpace for a while, but LiveSpace went out of business, and I really liked LiveSpace. I had some viewers there, and they were really good. The stream was really nice, um, but they just couldn't keep their their stuff together. I'm not sure if it was because of um,
Could be all
Oh
kinds of
wow,
legalities,
reasons.
Rumble is really
legalities with
down, guys.
the legalities with the what was it? BMI and ASCAP and things like that. So because people were
Without doing research, I wouldn't be able to say. Yeah, it could be a whole load of different reasons.
Mhm.
The
But
investment related.
it is what it is. But it, as broadcasters, we have to be flexible in order to get out there. You know, sure, I stream to Facebook, but I can also stream to Minds. But where where does my where does my video go when I'm done with on Minds? You know, uh, that's the thing. And how do I get demographics with it? I don't, and I can't for either.
You
It's
can
really
check the amount of viewers
Yeah,
that
yeah.
have a look at
There's
it.
lack of analytics with
Yeah,
Minds, the live peer
very
stream.
limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This is
I think mines would have been really great if they would have said, "Hey, Josh, we know that you're going out of business, but you have a really great video platform that's all open source. Is there any way that we could buy
uh,
into this and merge?" They could have done it, and Josh would have been open to it. Josh knows John and Bill and all those guys, but they don't like him because I don't know. They've seen him as a competitor, I guess.
You don't like what?
well, free market. I would
Mhm.
argue, I would be careful when you use the term open source because, as I pointed out in January's field today, there are copyleft licenses, and then there's licenses that allow for um, um, uh, commercial or
Right, right.
proprietary code to be included. So yeah, the open source argument can be a bit tricky.
Yeah,
Just
I
because it's
think
open
about
source
that
doesn't mean
because
that all the code's available.
Josh and I talked for many times about that, and it's like even though he was open source now, he was still paying like $500 a month for like I forget how many servers he had that kept
Mm.
all the stuff when he was running Josh
Hosting can be
TV.
extremely
But it was
expensive.
yeah, but everything the way his uh, terms of service was written, it's on you, not the platform. If you do something that you're not supposed to be doing, that's illegal where you're at, then it's on you. He had
Mm.
nothing to do with, and that's how, and it worked really great. They had a lot of stuff, a lot of people on there. Uh, what was it? The Patriot chicks. I can't think what their names are. It's not the Patriot. You know who I'm talking about. The two girls, they're sisters. They're always on mines too, and they post out a lot there. But they're
Really?
quite
Which one?
popular all over.
Which
Yeah.
ones?
Um,
The two girls.
and
You mean like
so just
the
sorry,
podcaster?
so just I finally seized this platform.
What's that?
Just has finally
Yeah, Josh is
deceased.
his platform went down like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and I used to I primarily that's where I started streaming at for video side. He's the one that got me into it, and then he's like, you can expand out too by adding this into your OBS. I'm like, hey, you don't have to just use my platform. I'm like, cool. I'm like,
Hmm.
and he helped me set it all up, and Josh you know came in and helped me do that. So then I had one-on-one support from the guy that ran it. So that
Cool.
that was a really big plus for me. And it's a
It
really
was
big plus
a
for me.
one man operation, wasn't it?
It was like a 2 or 3 guy operation,
Okay.
but
Still an SME, such. Mind you, mine's is running on quite a small amount of people as well, so to be fair. They did release a couple documentations, a couple. Okay.
yes,
Rudeness.
percentage wise, Mark, how many people on mines are actually active?
That's a good question. When you say active, at least signing in once a month, that data isn't available. Staff hasn't released that data.
Okay.
I'm not
'Cause
sure if they can.
I've
I'm
always
not sure if they even got
okay,
that data.
I know that I know that there's a lot of people signed up for mines, but I know
Mm.
even as myself, probably about oh probably about 60 to 70+% of the people that follow me probably aren't even active on mines anymore.
Mhm.
Because I've
I
been
can.
on mines for a long time. I think what they
Mm.
need to do too, and I've said this to the team. You weren't in there, but I'm letting you know now that I've talked to John
Mm.
and Bill about this. I said, why don't they take and after so many months of inactivity, deactivate the account, okay, so that folks who are want to know who's following them can actually get a really good eye for who's there and who's not.
Back
I've
in.
as an advertiser, and this, even though I'm not making money off this, I want to know who I'm reaching out to and how many people I'm reaching out to. You,
Back
you, you
in
know what I'm saying, Rod?
2018, yeah, back in 2018, 2019, I remember Jeff was talking about deactivating channels after a year of non-use, but that's never happened.
Yeah, see, I think that they should even cut that down to 6 months.
No, a year is more practical, I would
Uh,
argue.
now if you can, if I think
Not
that I,
practical.
I think really that's what happened over on uh, Tumblr
Okay.
because I went into Tumblr one day and it said my account was deactivated, but I'm active. I've always been active on Tumblr for a long, long time, probably since I've been on. But I don't get a lot of traffic on Tumblr, but I post there. And I check. I like some of the graphics there, especially like the hot rods and the comic book stuff that they have over there that I can't get on other platforms. Okay,
Mm.
but when they took down their video side, somehow I got uh, deactivated. But when I came back in, a couple months later, it reactivated my account, and it didn't start me clean. I still had all the people I had from before, but
Mm.
it showed that I'm back again. It
Did you
was
have your
it
previous
wasn't
content?
like I got banned. See, I thought I got banned, but I didn't.
Okay. Did you have your previous content? Um, did you retain your previous content?
No, I haven't changed any
Okay.
content. I
No, I
have
mean, did they retain your content? Was your content
yeah,
still on
yeah.
your
They
channel? Okay.
retained my content. They had went back, but it took them about a month and a half to take and do that though. But that was on Tumblr, and that's I know a lot of people don't use Tumblr anymore, but there are people that still use Tumblr.
Now, that was
and I do.
Very good.
from what I remember. No, that was a few years ago too, wasn't it? Because I remember I freaking went through a time where I was on Tumblr, but it was for all the hot chicks and stuff. But
Well,
Yeah.
they have that, but they
Okay.
clamp down on some of that too.
they
but,
don't
you know,
they don't do nudity or anything like that
Yeah,
anymore.
they still do that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, see, they got busted a while back for child.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I forgot
Okay,
about that.
and they went through they went through some changes. Maybe that's why that all went down too. They had to go through and see who was doing what and when, and see if the accounts were still good or acceptable in that. And I wouldn't mind if mine did that, so long as they gave us like a heads up. But with the Tumblr thing, I didn't get really a heads up on it. If I did, I didn't see it when it came in my email box. Because
Yeah,
I only get notifications for certain things like Neil Grassam, he does comic books for like Dynamite Entertainment now and other comic book groups. So
yeah. I think you're right. I think freaking Twitter or Rumble is out of commission for a second because like I went in to say hi to Bob Dove who's on the chat and it said that my chat didn't go through.
How's your stream on Rumble? Is it still going?
It
still
says
it's
it
still
says that we have 3 viewers and it's still going, but I'm
500 there.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
500 there, which could mean anything. So
Tiny baby
it's,
kangaroo.
Maybe it's just the website.
Yeah,
The website's
Something
down.
there.
But
Ah,
the,
something on
Yeah.
there and stuff there.
I hit
I'm
refresh.
I'm getting a page. I'm getting the this page isn't working. Rumble is currently unable to handle this request.
Yep. Yep.
Error 500.
Yeah,
That usually
That's-
happens
that's
when
very
you
vague.
have like a site that's being attacked super hard, or they're doing some upgrades to it, and I don't know. I didn't see anything about any upgrades or updates. Hopefully, I'll be able to broadcast there tomorrow.
Well, they have an update. They usually have a decent like page site under maintenance page, right?
Or they will have some sort of replication method.
Yeah.
So if one goes down,
This is
another
bad.
server will come up.
whenever in doubt, hit refresh.
Right? Does it work now?
Right.
Hit refresh.
Oh, it worked. Roger's right. He's the tech lord.
That's what I was trying to say. Nobody ever listens to me. I'm the dummy.
Yeah.
I'm the dummy.
You're
I'm,
the refresh. No, you're just the refresh lord.
I'm the guy who freaking says, "Hey, turn your computer off."
Yeah, that's right. Is the computer plugged in?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you have a major issue, the first thing you do is you turn your computer off and restart it. That's a big deal. If that
This reminds me of my time when I've done a lot of end user support
Oh, it's down again.
corporate call center, corporate tech support.
Could be,
Even finding out, have you switched it on yet?
yeah. And
Could be a historic moment where we're witnessing on the TikTok live stream with Rumble going down. Did you? Is it on wherever stream is
No.
your stream showing that page?
D Live is going good. I've got YouTube going. Tech Talk is going on Odyssey. Now on Rumble, everything
What
seems
about?
It when it came in my email. You will have to watch with D Live, because D Live does have pop-up advertising,
yeah.
and it will come up sometimes over on your stream. What is it? Like your editor page,
Mm-hmm.
and just a pop-up. If you can block it, you're good. But big thing is have that tab muted, because sometimes they'll like have something really loud that'll pop up, come through. It's not often, but it happens.
I always mute them out because freaking like the way I've got my mic system set up is a lot different than what a lot of other people do it. I do it to where my voice comes through on my microphone, but it doesn't go onto my computer. And all of your guys' audio and everything runs through my computer, but or my desktop, but it doesn't go through freaking the mic or anything else. So it's just the way I've learned to make OBS run a little bit easier. You know.
Yeah, I do a very similar thing with various browsers. At the moment, Skype is running through this side. All the audio outputs on browsers are coming through the actual workstation speaker, or actual set of speaker.
Because I don't like hearing freaking my voice. You know what I mean? It's like freaking. It took me a long time to figure out how I can actually get my voice to be on the stream without actually having to hear it freaking play back. You know.
I run my microphone through a mixing board and everything else through the mixing board too.
Mm-hmm.
But my mic is a separate channel than all my other sounds.
So you've got little sliders, physical sliders, they can go up and down to balance the volume.
Yep. If I need to boost the anybody that Skype comes out as a group of one, so I can slide the slider up or down. I can't do it for each individual though. That's the only little drawback, but it's not a big drawback, and I've worked with it like that for years, and it works good.
Well, you do radio too, so that's kind of a needed thing too, isn't it? Where you're gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know you do the radio as well as doing Skype and the internet. So that kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a hiss now from somebody. I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Possibly from you, Roger.
Let me see.
Yeah, it was from Roger.
So
Yeah.
it's coming from my channel?
Yeah,
Michael.
Yeah.
You're picking up some background interference.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. That's
A little bit of background hiss or
that's
a
in,
fan. You have a
that's-
fan going?
yeah, I got my air conditioner, and then the oxygen tank for my dad is back behind me too. So I take care of my mom and dad, and they're elderly, so this is where I do it.
Why don't you put them on your stream some days?
Oh God. my mom. No. She's something else.
Put them both on and interview them. You know, it's like you've been interviewing us. You interview your own.
Well, the thing about my family is they're all freaking crazy. They're worse than I am.
Yeah.
And like my
Yeah.
mom.
Worse than you?
Yeah, worse than
Okay.
Hard to believe, right? Hard to believe.
Now, there was also something that freaking I remember too. You, Mark, and Tan had a conversation that I know Mark wanted to go over with you, and I forgot what it was, but it was right after you mentioned it right after we finished up on the AI string together. You said you was hoping that he came on last week so you guys could talk about it.
Oh, I wasn't there last week. Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So.
Yeah, a week is a long time.
What did you talk about last week? I think I reviewed. You were just talking about like histories or philosophies.
No,
No,
Tuesday.
this is
Tuesday.
tech. You're
Yeah,
thinking
you
of.
were here last Tuesday.
Wait, was it?
Fine. You
Was
were
it?
here last
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I think we were talking
you
about
were
AI.
talking about emotional intelligence and stuff.
Emotional intelligence. That's right. About AI
Yeah.
in what is it?
Emotional intelligence. Now, see, that right there is some weird shit. I don't understand where that's coming from. Like,
Right, there's something called an EQ, right? Emotional, what is it? There's an IQ and there's EQ, emotional quotient, or
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to ascertain what is meant by artificial intelligence and give it a better definition.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so the emotional, there's all kinds of different intelligence, right? I think in the last couple of episodes, we were talking about different kinds of intelligence, right?
Mm.
actually, didn't one of you post something the other day about Mac, I believe it was, came out with their own version of artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Mac Dev conference was all happening last week.
Yeah,
Apple,
What's the mark?
Apple, yeah.
it was Apple. Now, since you said it was all marketing, explain that, Mark, because everything to you is about marketing. So we need to know
Well,
exactly what you're talking
all
about.
of these, I've seen so many of these conferences. They're just PR exercises at the end of the day. This is the latest shiny device. This is what may be installed on this shiny device, and buy from us.
Yeah.
Really.
Sounds like Elon
If you've
talk.
seen one, you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what?
it's a developers conference. Well, no, it's a developers conference. So
Yeah, but it was marketed orientated. It was totally marketing orientated. There wasn't talking
supposed
about
to
the
show-
incentive.
supposed to be showing preview features that they are building, and they will have some early developer kit release for early adapters to jump on and build on what they have, so that when they release it to production, some customers or their partners gonna have stuff ready that they're gonna release together.
Cool.
So-
that's
What was that dude in that video referring to when he was talking about series? Like it was an upset or some shit like that. I mean, was it a disaster? Because I never really kept up on it, but I remember when they came out with series. Was it a flop?
Don't think it was a
Series got
flop,
upset?
but
No, like he made it out like they made promises to come out with something like this new AI setup, but it ended up flopping on them.
Well, like a lot of marketers, like a lot of executives, they come out with all these great ideas, and at the end of the day, they either reduce on the ideas, or they don't actually release them. I mean, that's the job of a marketing executive to talk up the product.
So you're trying to tell
even
me
if
that
it's not
Apple?
realistic.
So you're trying to tell me that
Yeah, but-
Apple does that?
Of course.
The mighty Apple?
Of course.
I mean, sometimes it happens, but I mean, like iPhone 15, iPhone 14 was announced in the last conference, and it got released, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean everything that they promise they're gonna be able to deliver. Hopefully they will, but they're not.
What's the marketing corporate term for this? Blue sky thinking?
Haven't heard that.
No, that's the first time I've heard of it. Dude, I think it's an English term. I think that's what the
It's an
English.
old, it goes back to the sort of 90s sort of corporate Scott Adams, Robert sort of cartoons, Gilbert cartoons.
Blue sky.
I mean, eventually. So the thing is that eventually there might be delayed, it might be late, but eventually they released it, right? There are some instances I'm thinking of, like Microsoft developed conference. where they touted the HoloLens, like the virtual reality goggle that their version of the VR helmet,
Mm.
uh, and they released it for two. There are two versions of it, right? So they did showcase it. They promised and they delivered, but then it flopped because it's not very usable. So they ended up
Well, it
dropping, right?
possibly needed to the one demographic. But Google's tried, Google's do of this, of releasing products and then a couple of years later just discontinuing them. Or
Yeah,
in some
all the
cases,
time.
even weeks after they've released good
Yeah,
products.
yeah.
I think they
The
got the clue.
Google had the same thing. They had the Google Glass.
Yep.
Yeah.
I created a good blog article about that. A YouTube creator, somebody by the name of Dave Cullen, said that Google Glass was a flop, and I argued that it was actually only a flop because it was sold to one demographic. I mean, it was sold to the retail consumer, where things like SAP usage, so sales and inventory management, would be that sort of product would be extremely good. Think of yourself as an Amazon employee, wearing a pair of glasses, just going around boxes and boxes and boxes, and just picking up QR codes all day.
That would be like your paradise, dude. You'd love that shit.
I know that.
Yes, you would.
tedious, but
Don't even. I know better. Like terms and services and shit.
see if I can stand up for you.
You would freaking love that job, dude. You
It was
know
one
you
of my
would.
very early blog articles. In fact, probably my first or second blog article that I've ever done on mines. Find it.
So basically, from what I've seen about these VR goggles, is the only one that's really been successful, and this is weird to me, is like Facebook. I think Facebook
Yeah,
is the only one.
they went into partnership
Oculus.
Ray Bans, isn't it? Yeah, Ray
For
Bans.
gaming.
It was Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only one I've seen that's actually been a success. I mean, I'm not even saying it's a success because I've never tried them, but like they're still out.
Mhm.
They're selling them left and right.
Yeah.
I would like the Facebook or meta platforms, Metaverse hasn't really done all that well as far as consumers are concerned.
Yeah, but they're selling. The rest of them are flopping. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they're still
Okay.
selling is a miracle.
Yeah, I would like to see the sort of spreadsheet. I would like to see the accounts. I would like to see how many they're selling and they're making a profit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're making profit. I mean, if they're still selling it, then. they
Yeah,
must be
but
making
doesn't mean
profit.
it could be a loss. It could be a lost leader, couldn't it? After all, they're
They have-
selling it for mainly the purpose of the metaverse project, and the hardware may be a lost leader, but they may make up the money on advertising in the so-called metaverse or subscriptions or something.
They have three. Well, it could be using it to sell the gaming subscription.
Yeah,
that's where it's mostly.
So,
Yeah.
Yep, they're doing it through the gamers. Like gamers are buying that thing up like you wouldn't believe, and then they're connected with Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Steam, you have freaking Facebook, and you have these Google Glass. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah, I've just published. I just added a link into the chapter. Just referencing just blog article.
I'll go ahead and freaking pop it up on the
Say
screen
brief one, but yeah, with
so
one
people
first,
can see it on
first
there.
ones I created.
Now, I'm not going to read all of it because your blogs give me
You
a
want to
headache.
read it on the screen for
No,
us, Roger?
no. Mark's, I've
Be
read
good
way
if you,
too
if you,
many
I'm
blogs.
not sure how long the video is. The attached video is. With that one.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
To
if
get
I
some
I don't
context.
know if I want to read this because I've read way too many of Mark's blogs. They give me a headache like you wouldn't believe.
This one's a short one. This
Yeah.
is less than, I don't know, 600 words.
Okay. Okay, so I'll do it.
Well,
Thi-
200.
The Rise and Fall of Google Glass, a reply to Dave Collins' post by Mark Edworthy or Medworthy on Minds.com. Ever since the inception of this type of product, I considered that Google Glass has had limited appeal with a domestic consumer market, and if pushed towards this demographic, Google Glass would have limited impact and small amount of sales. And yes, we have seen by the amount of purchases of this product, I think that my assumptions were proven to be correct. However, in the past, I have frequently suggested that if this hardware were to be paired with suitable software and infrastructure / frameworks, this type of hard work would be suitable within various other industries, such as sectors that mainly deal with logistics, auditing, and stock control / inventory management. As an example of Google Glass and similar products used good QR / barcode scanning software incorporated with the internal camera and the head-up display viewer had access to some form of inventory management framework. Products such as SAP Extended Warehouse Management, Enchanto WASP Inventory Control, Zoho Inventory, Agiliron Inventory Management, or 3PL.
Agile Iron.
What is Ireland
I want
Inventory
sorry.
Management,
Agile Iron.
or 3PL Warehouse Manager, then this sort of hardware would be an extremely suitable tool for medium / large size organizations and companies. I have seen a number of similar devices being used within this context, such as the Pacvi range of devices, Vuzix Smart Glasses, Generix group range of devices, and other similar SAP-based devices, and still believe that the Google Glass project was pushed towards the wrong consumer base / demographic market. I suspect that Google's marketing department and middle / upper tier management needed to push this product out to market as quickly as possible, and did not do sufficient marketplace focus group research. As far as Dave Collins' assumption that this type of device has failed, URL provided below, I again believe that he is looking from the point of view of a domestic consumer and has not considered alternative uses for this type of product. As stated above, I believe that the Google Glass project was marketed towards the wrong user base, and if this type of product were to be pushed more heavily towards the SAP systems, applications, and products demographic and was marketed as BI, business intelligence solution to this product would have been more successful. Therefore, I particularly disagree with Dave's assumption that Google Glass was as much of a failure as he has suggested within this video. And the reference in other resources is Dave Collins' original post in video and technology and open source blog. So
Yeah, I do that. Often the technology and open source both doesn't actually work anymore because for some reason a couple of years later mine changed the syntax of the URL. But yeah, the video should still be.
So what are you saying? This dude's wrong for saying what he was saying, or he was just misguided as a consumer?
Actually, it's unavailable now. The video is unavailable now. His argument was that it was a flop because there wasn't enough consumer, domestic consumer take up on that. And he was only looking at the entire project from a sort of consumer demographic.
So,
rather than
well, my question is do you think that he was wrong that it flopped, or do you think he was misguided because he was looking at it from a different perspective?
Yeah, he was more misguided because he was just looking at it from once as a retail product.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, because that's kind of what I was reading reading into when I was reading your article. It seemed more like he was just misguided, and like you said, maybe it could have been aimed in a different direction than what it was actually aimed in, But
there was some safety concern and privacy concern with that device.
Yeah, being on the street, even though in Western society, if you're on a public street, then nothing's private. Legally speaking, both in US, Canada, UK, Europe. If you're on a public street, then nothing is private. But yeah, also safety concerns were about migraines and headaches and stuff, but also being distracted if, let's say, you're crossing the road.
Yep.
Well, they've actually put a age limit here in the United States. You have to be 13 or older to use any kind of VR glasses. So I don't know how it is in Europe. I think they let you guys get away with that because you're so behind on everything compared to us here in the United States.
Generally speaking, we're more safety conscious than the US.
I doubt it.
Generally speaking.
England, or actually Europe. All of Europe is just horrible.
I mean, take your food, the FDA.
Oh, come on, dude. You're going to pull Mr. Robot. You're going to pull Mr. Robot. You're going to literally pull a Mr. Robot.
In the UK, we've got more of a preventative attitude. So rather than saying in the US, when it comes to things like food, the FDA will say if the food doesn't do any harm to a large percentage of people, then it's safe. It's the likelihood not going to do harm. But we in the UK take the approach that if there is any chance of food doing any harm, then we create legislation around it.
Well, see, this is a good example of what I'm talking about when it comes to organizations like the FDA. Okay, now everybody's all big on this Food and Drug Administration shit, but like, let me explain to you something about like milk. Okay, freaking back when they decided that they freaking wanted to put regulations on milk, and they made freaking 2% milk and whole milk and all this stuff. You know what they did? They skimmed all the fat and everything out of milk, and they created all these freaking kinds of milk that you can buy. But then they took that extra freaking milk fat and all that good stuff, and they turned it into cheese. So all of a sudden, they got the milk section, and the cheese section freaking just expanded and exploded. Now, according to the FDA, you're not supposed to have that stuff in milk, but it's okay to sell it as cottage cheese and freaking cheese and shredded cheddar and all that good stuff. You see,
There
so
are 2 points. There are 2 points in relation to that. First of all, the FDA is extremely corrupt. We've all heard stories about lobbyists, companies or lobbyists on behalf of companies giving the FDA money just to push their own arguments. The second point is back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, Europe was going through a sort of over supply of milk. There was the so-called cheese mansions of the 70s and 80s, where there was so much government subsidies, various state subsidies given to milk manufacturers, that there was an oversupply of milk. Various new cheeses were created to combat that.
and see they've done that in every area. Like you can even freaking find that kind of behavior when it comes to the FCC. I mean, you know what I mean?
American government, state government agencies, majority of them can be easily persuaded by good old fashioned dollars and the will of the lobbyists.
I blame it on the Canadians. I think it's their fault.
No, it's your. It's the. It actually goes back to the First Amendment and allowing companies to be and corporations to be people or persons and.
Well, I mean, you say that, but then like I look at things that are going on in Europe that are just straight up freaking corrupt, like them trying to push this cloud bullshit. You know what I mean? Like trying to force freaking companies like Xbox to freaking put their games on freaking this cloud, and all of these Activision too. They've got Activision on.
A lot of these things are coming from the corporations themselves. I mean,
No, it was
extremely corrupt.
In order for Activision to freaking be able to freaking merger, they had to freaking agree, according to EU's terms, to freaking put their games on freaking this cloud. Okay, now.
Yeah, but who initiated those terms?
It was the EU. It was like, you don't get to freaking sell your games in Europe.
The EU, the European Union, doesn't have a say in what laws are created.
They do.
They only have a say about the voting of those laws. It's the European Commission that initially creates the laws, and a non-elected load of bureaucrats.
Right. You see, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's like freaking, like, the EU is probably, most likely, like, 3 times more corrupt than the United States government, dude. It's just people haven't caught on yet.
It's a pseudo democratic system. But, again, who knows who actually decided on laws such as that, because again, lobbyists could have gone to the European Commission and say, well, to stop people buying physical copies, we want all of our software titles to be on the cloud, quote unquote, as platform service, and therefore it's a much more of a corporate interest.
Well, that's what I take it from when I check into the EU. It's all about corporations. If you ever notice, it's not really about people's rights or anything like that. It's what the corporations in Europe want. Everything in the EU
Again, I could
rotates.
say similar to about America or the US.
I, Today, it's not the same in the United States. It would be nice if it was just about the corporations. Now it's about all these freaking lobbyists that are freaking
Yeah.
into freaking transgender shit and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but again, that is still being pushed by our corporate lobbyists because the idea is to if you can make everything inclusive, then you can sell more products.
Well, you know, like the Koch family, they make more money in Europe than freaking they do here in the United States, right? Like they fight for freaking everybody not to freaking have to worry about the environment here in the United States, but then they go to Europe and they start selling the idea of freaking using the freaking what do they call that? Like muffler systems. The oh god. They're big on. They go over there and they start pushing freaking legal freaking stuff about the environment and freaking shit like that because they know they can make money over there. Okay, so they push it over there, supporting the environment, and then they come over here and they freaking push freaking being against the environment. So they're making money on both sides. See what I mean? These corporations don't care. They're gonna go with what freaking that area freaking supports and what they don't support. Catalytic converters. That's what I'm talking about.
And at the end of the day, you got the fearless, or fairly fearless activists out there that we'd like to see some sort of globalist socialist utopia that are just in effect pushing what these companies want. And so if you see any extreme socialists, extreme left wing saying, yeah, I hate companies. I want to see this planet become green and everybody munching on beetle burgers. They're just pushing the idea that these companies that they hate want.
Now, you calm down, you rebel. He starts getting riled up.
Can I get you guys back to the Google Glass for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you guys, I just heard somebody mention Ray-Ban a few moments ago, right? Meta and Ray-Ban got together and developed
I've got a post on this actually.
a Meta smart glass, Meta AI smart glass, which looks like a ripoff of the Google Glass.
AI again. Are they just using that term as marketing?
My goodness.
So
I'm gonna make one of my famous freaking mixed musics, and it's gonna be just Mark saying it's all just marketing. It's all just marketing.
Everything's
marketing. It's made to mock us.
All right. There
This
you
is an
go.
old. I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if you guys see it.
Yeah, I see it.
on the post actually.
Yeah, I see it.
It's an old article from The Verge from 2023 about it. Says it's selling for about $2.99 per pair.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you've heard about it? Have you checked it out? Let me
Yeah,
play this.
I have a post. I did create a post on
While
this,
you're looking for that
some time
post,
ago.
They were supposed to.
Outside, Roger.
You know what I'm talking about on Google Maps, how it'll show you like where store locations are and everything on your
Right?
phone.
Yeah.
They were saying like 7 years ago, 7 years ago, that they were going to incorporate that into these glasses to where all you have to do is put them on and it'll show you where these locations
Sure.
are. And
Sure.
Yeah.
They've never done it.
I think they did, but there was such a limited user take-up of it. They shelved it because it was making them enough money.
And it was a disaster. It flopped, most likely. I mean,
Yeah. Remember, it's okay to create all these things, but if you aren't able to sell them, if there isn't a consumer take-up on them, then
well, I mean, women,
you lose money.
women would buy this stuff like it was going out of
Right.
style. I mean, I know it sounds sexist, but it's not. It's actually a commercial, commercial wise, like this right here would be perfect for women. They would love it.
Mm.
You know, us guys, most of us guys, except for
I'm still don't know if they have a viewer.
Great, there's someone who's like
No.
an avid hunter.
yeah, yeah.
Someone who I don't know if it would actually get you out in the woods and stuff like that. Be able to catch all the. Here's the big thing that I have about stuff like that. How's that going to affect you with the EV? All this electronic waves
Yeah.
that's hitting your body here and now. Where is that going to put us? I mean, if you hit your body with enough frequency from like 5G or whatever, it changes your DNA too. So
I disagree with this. There's a lot of research being done on this even now. And the concept is that all of these frequencies are so low anyway that they aren't going to affect
but how much
people.
of that is
So
cumulative?
obviously, we need a long-term research on this. We're going to have to look at this over the next generations of the next 25, 30 odd years to get conclusive data.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
long-term then.
when I look at stuff like that, I wonder and I get a little hesitant about it, because sure, it works. It looks like it works good, but what is the effect on our bodies going to be? Okay, in the long run. So
Again, at the current viewpoints, and again, this could change in the future because this is an ongoing this ongoing research. But for the moment, the current consensus is that these wavelengths these frequencies are too low, that they are not going to really affect the majority of users.
okay, well, I know that there are people who are sensitive to frequencies.
Yeah, that's why I said majority.
Are there actually warnings on that? And are there going to be, has it been tested enough that these the folks when they do wear them and that they're not going to get hallucinations from no
This glass has I don't think this glass has a viewer at all. It's just a camera and a bunch of microphones.
Yeah, but you're still
With some
getting
AI.
you're still getting some sort of frequency hitting your body, and when you take and have your phone next to you, or it's connected to your phone or laptop, and that even as like a wireless mouse, that's
Yeah.
you're adding more
Potentially.
things into your body,
Potentially.
and you're making your phone work harder for the Bluetooth side to bounce those frequencies out. So in your laptop too.
And
So
also on the
where will that lead us to? You know, where?
on the research side too, you got to also remember, like, they don't really do the research unless a certain amount of people decide
Oh,
frickin' that it needs to be done. Like, it has to be a percentage of people that actually want them. And like,
Plain.
there's been perfect
um,
there's been perfect examples of this. Like, their stewardess back, I believe it was back in the 80s
Oh,
or
wow,
the
okay.
90s, that actually freaking were saying that because they were doing all these flights, they were getting too high up into the air and they had been introduced into radiation, which caused them issues. Now, they didn't want to do research on that for the longest time, and freaking come to find out that there is a small amount of freaking stewardess that freaking had suffered from radiation poison because they were freaking doing too many flights. You know what I mean? So they started cutting down on the amount of time that they can be in the airplane.
I've just added 2 links to the chat here, with 2 different, completely different viewpoints on in relation to posts that have 2 different, completely different, opposite viewpoints on the subject. One that's looking at it from a much more scientific area, and the other one's not so much.
Now, like this 5G thing, everybody's really getting nervous about the 5G thing. Like, it's
Not everybody.
they're actually saying that it's causing problems with freaking trees and shit, killing trees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Data
like-
yet
like
to
you
be
said,
found.
Like I said, you know, certain frequencies, you know, go up quick, all right? And other frequencies, they stick around for a long time. I mean, you can still hear, if you're at a certain place at a certain time, a broadcast that was done from World War II, all right, on certain radio, or like AM radio and that. But because it keeps bouncing around, these signals
yeah.
will keep going and going until they can't go anymore.
Until they degrade.
Right.
The second link I stuck, the debunking 5G technology post, is actually explains the frequencies in some detail, and the conclusion on that one is that 5G frequencies, I think there's about 3 different frequencies, if I remember the right way, don't have any knowable effects at the moment. Again, I say knowable at the moment because, again, it's an ongoing
Right.
thing.
It's going to take time for them to figure that out. But you know,
Yeah.
with anything, you know, that's kind of like the jab. You know, let's just put it out and see. Well, we didn't really test it. You know.
Yeah, but that was more to do with corruption and incompetence.
But you know,
Well,
the
just
jab thing.
kind of hold off on having that conversation. We don't need to be talking about.
Okay, yeah.
okay. Well, anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
indeed.
But I've already had an issue with Mr. Robot over this situation, and it's like, this is
Yeah, indeed.
this is seriously a serious conversation.
I'll tell you. You know, you really need to bring Nancy in when you talk about frequency, vibration, and
You know what gets me though when you guys are talking about frequency though, Mark? It's
Go on.
now 5 hertz. Everybody made such a big deal about television having 5 hertz, and they decided that frickin' we didn't need to frickin' be broadcasting 5 hertz around the frickin' world and on a television set. So they decided to go
There's 2
digital.
standards on CRT TVs. There's the power standard, which is 50 hertz, and there's the NTSC standard, which is 60.
Oh, 50, yeah, it was 50. Sorry, just add a 0.
Yeah. 50 is a
Well, 50
is
isn't
Europe,
really
and in
50
some
isn't
parts of
really that
Japan.
bad. I mean, there's a lot higher freaking hertz out there than just freaking 50 hertz of freaking. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Oh yeah.
so what's the deal with all that? You know, if they're willing to freaking ban freaking the use of regular televisions, but then it's okay to freaking do 5G on a telephone.
But they didn't ban. They didn't ban. There was two sets of standards back in the 60s, 70s. One for the US and one for the majority of the rest of the world.
What do you call it if freaking you can't get freaking TV with just a regular antenna? It's got to be digital. I mean, if it's not banned, what is it?
Yeah, that's a
Well,
different
see, what they
subject.
did is they're using those other frequencies for emergency and military use.
That's what they
You know,
say, huh?
That's the claim. All right, they
There
claim
was
like like your fire department, your police, government.
back in the early 2000s, when the UK government was or the UK was pushing for digital TVs. There was a digital radios, and there was a idea of selling off the licenses for these alpha frequencies. So the idea was to introduce sort of community-based radio stations, and I don't think that actually ever succeeded.
I think that they're freaking making a big issue out of that, but then at the same time they don't want to admit that their phones are freaking putting out more hertz. Heck, you get more freaking hertz out of freaking audio than what you did out of freaking television. It's insane. Like freaking 50 hertz isn't shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, you can go up to 75 on a TV now,
So
maybe higher. All right, but
that's
I know my TV. I
Display
I
hertz,
can
yeah.
set to 75 hertz. Probably there's others that go higher than that right now, but you know, the normal cycle for it is what 50 to 60.
yeah.
Used to be. I'm
Television?
not sure what's the standard these days.
For television.
And
But,
these are actually
Yeah,
newer.
I'm thinking of the old CRT. Yeah, I'm thinking of the CRT standards.
Yeah. Those were maybe a little bit higher, going up to maybe 85, but that's about it. I'm pretty sure that's about it, about 85, and that's roughly.
I've got a old must be 22-inch CRT just down there. That's so heavy that I've just left unused as a shelf because it's so heavy to get rid of. It requires at least two people to move it, and I think that's gone up to 85.
Yeah, I'd almost bet that's what it is, because the heavy ones are the ones, like I have had one that I just had to freaking take to the dump, or not the dump. What I do is when we recycle, I put it in with the freaking cans and stuff, because we recycle cans and everything. So I put it in the back of the truck with it so that I could take it out there with the freaking heavy metals and stuff and just dump it off the back. And
Fair enough.
it was so heavy freaking that I had to take a dolly and put it on top of this freaking dolly just to take it out my door and then over to the back end of the truck, man. I'm like, oh my god, I felt like I was gonna kill myself. It was the heaviest thing in the house.
The TV.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
with this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, TVs and stereos used to be super heavy at one time. Oh, solid state, you know.
Mm-hmm. So we
heavier with the tubes.
so
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of to an hour and a half. So I think we should an hour and 28 minutes. So I think we should cut it right here and then come back later on and do another episode. What do you think, guys?
Yeah. Okay.
I have my daughter coming back later on. I'm not sure what time she's going to be here, but and I got to grab some food. What time are you guys planning on coming back?
Oh, well, I was talking about next week.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm talking about.
I don't think we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, I like he is like now. What we're gonna do tomorrow? If you want to come on, man. Me and Mark is doing.
tomorrow.
Oh, you can't.
I have like a 6.5 to 7 hour stream tomorrow.
Oh
From,
God, that'd be cool. We'll go ahead and give a
Mm.
plug on it. That way, everybody knows about it on this show. Since
yeah, yeah. We got Dragus Productions radio shows are going to start 4:30 Central Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. Take a look out for them. First show is going to be Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. It's a 2-hour radio show with Brent Hamachek. Is going to be guest in there. He's from Human Events. And then we have Jack Carey doing Paranormal Intelligence Agency. This will be his third show with me. And then to wrap it up, I'll have the all-new Cafe Enigma radio show, which a few of you have already been on.
Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty good show too, by the way.
And, I'll have that, and then that show will have an after show, and I'll probably finish up here about 10:30, 11 o'clock my time, which would be about midnight Eastern time.
All right. So,
5 o'clock in the morning, Mike.
would that
And I don't know. It comes out to about 4 or 5 in the morning your time, Mark, right?
be? Yeah.
Mm.
It's about he stays up that late. Don't worry about it. Especially he actually really liked being on the last time. He asked me why I didn't come in and talk because I was like, man, you were just sitting there having such a good time. Nancy even said, why are you sitting there freaking all prim and proper and stuff? Because he was just hanging out and having a good time. You know what I mean? So.
With that show, I enjoy the pre-show and the after-show a lot more than the show.
That was the after show on the last one was extremely fun.
So with that being said,
Alright.
let's go ahead and call it quits. It's at an hour and a half already. So appreciate you guys being here. There's another great show. Tan, Mark, thanks for another freaking good episode, and thanks for being here with us, Mark. Watch Dragus
Production.
Yeah, Dragus Production. And one of these days we will be able to pronounce your last name properly. I promise you. I
I'm
promise.
not worried about that at all.
Watch
Hey,
Jessica.
if you can teach us once, then we can do it.
Yeah, that's all it is. So
Yeah.
I will end this, and thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.